Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today is Wacky Wednesday. We're going to be making a Pavlova. But before I start, if this is your first time here, you love food, you love fun, you love wacky recipes, go ahead, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss anything new. Okay, so if you're not sure what a Pavlova is, because I didn't know what it was, it's like if you've ever made meringues, it's like a meringue, but it's in the shape and the form of, it's as big as a cake. It's like a big giant meringue, and then we make homemade whipped cream and fruit that we top it with. So originally this was supposed to be a Fab 5 Friday recipe because it is only 5 ingredients. It's sugar, egg whites, cornstarch, a little bit of vinegar, and I was going to say vanilla, but I've actually swapped it out for almond because that's what I prefer. So I tried this 3 times and I failed miserably 3 times. The first time I burnt it. I burnt a corner of it. The second time it did not rise all the way. And the third time it rose, but it cracked and the sides fell off. I think that there's supposed to be some kind of cracking involved. Like, I don't think you can do it without getting a few cracks, but when I pulled it out, like all the sides fell off. So not good. So I thought if I could pull this off, that would be wacky. So I decided we're going to do this for Wacky Wednesday and try this one more time. We'll see. Success or failure, I'm leaving it. This is what I'm posting. So, anyway, I have got 6 egg whites to start here. Now, they say that if you use them at room temperature, you'll get a lot more volume. I have done it both ways, and I don't see much of a difference. So I've let them sit out for a little bit, but not too entirely long. All right, so 6 egg whites in. And then the next thing we're going to add in is 2.5 cups of sugar. But this has to be, from what I've experienced now, making this my 4th time, this sugar has to be added in about as slowly as humanly possible. About as slowly as humanly. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my whip attachment on. And then I'm going to sprinkle in just a tiny bit of sugar. Tiny bit. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to whip these first. So see, I'm probably already going to screw this up anyway. I'm supposed to whip it and then put the sugar in. All right, we'll see what happens though. Wish me luck. All right, looks like I didn't do too much damage. Looks like we still have some really stiff peaks there. So from here, I'm just going to keep adding a tiny bit of sugar at a time. I'm going to say maybe 1/4 cup, and I'm going to try to sprinkle it all over. So all of this into there, slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, so all of our sugar is now incorporated. As you can see, I kind of stopped it every once in a while and just lifted up my whip and made sure that I still had those nice stiff peaks. All right, so now we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. I really can't talk today. And 1 teaspoon of vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, you can use lemon juice. Basically, we just need some sort of acid to add in here, and it doesn't taste like vinegar, I promise. And then also 1 teaspoon of almond extract or vanilla. You can just use vanilla if you have it. I just always prefer almond. Sometimes I will actually add both. And a lot of times if it calls for vanilla, I will add in double what it calls for, unless I have like Mexican vanilla or Madagascar on hand. And I actually got a little extra almond extract in there. It came over the top. That's okay. All right, so we're going to blend all this together. All right, I think that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my whip. And they say the trick to knowing when this is done is you should be able to tip the whole bowl over and it not fall out. So I think we're good because I think I can do that, except for maybe that little bit that I just beat on top. But, whoop, there we go. I had to do it quick. I really thought it might come out. All right, so the one thing I forgot to mention is you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So the cool thing about this is that it bakes at kind of a lower temperature. So we're actually going to bake it at about 300. We just have it on 350 now. And as soon as we put it in there, we're going to turn that down. But that's going to help set the outside of it. So they say to draw a circle on here. I don't think I need to draw a circle. I think I can just probably wing this part. I don't know. I wasn't too good at winging any of the parts. Okay. And then we kind of want to make a well in the top. So I'm going to try to form this into a bit of a circle, maybe kind of like a dome shape. That's kind of what I've seen, all different kinds of pictures. I feel like a sculptor. So I'm going to kind of round this out. And then what I want to do is I want to kind of carve out a spot in the center here. And that is going to be where we put our whipped cream and our fruit. I tell you, so none of them turned out good, but the last one I made, what happened with it? Oh yeah, the sides fell off of it. It was still edible, so I ate quite a bit of it. And my husband doesn't like marshmallow, so I split it in half with my best friend. She took half of it home, and I think we both ate. It is really, really good. So I'm actually probably not going to taste this one. I'm going to give this one to my mom for Mother's Day. So that was the other reason I kind of wanted to make this before Mother's Day too. Good enough. I better stop while I'm ahead. Last week I just used the vanilla. This has the almond in it, so I really like the almond flavor. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven. And I know that has raw egg whites in it, but I couldn't help myself. All right, so in the oven, it's at 350. I'm going to turn it down to 300, and we're going to let this bake for 1 hour. Okay, so the hour is up. The next thing that we want to do is let our pavlova cool down. But we want to do this in the oven. We don't want to shock it. So just go ahead and turn the oven off and then open the oven door, which I've got going on right here. So while that is cooling down, the next thing I'm going to work on is my whipped cream. So I'm just going to take a full pint of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to toss it in. What's this called? I was going to call it a blender. It's not a blender. It's a mixer. Which I also meant to tell you earlier that you don't have to have a stand mixer to make the pavlova. You can do it with a hand mixer. You can actually, from what I've read, you can do it by hand, but you might not be able to use that arm for a week, so I wouldn't recommend that. Either a stand mixer or a hand mixer. All right, so then I'm going to add in, I think I've got about 1/3 of a cup there. It just depends on how sweet you want your whipped cream. You can do 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 a cup. I think I did right at 1/3 of a cup there. So we're just going to put our... Am I putting it on right? There we go. All right, so then we're just going to whip up our whipped cream until this is nice and fluffy. All right, I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off of here. I'm going to go ahead and put my mixer away. And then I'm going to go ahead and chop up some fruits. And whatever kind of fruit that you want to use. I think I'm going to do strawberry, kiwi, and maybe some blackberries. So I'm going to get that ready. And I'm going to put the mixer away. And I'll see you back in a few. Okay, so our pavlova has finally cooled off, and when I first looked at it, it was much higher, and you could actually see in the sides of here. So the inside is supposed to be like a chewy marshmallow, and the outside is supposed to be, well, you can kind of tell what it's supposed to be like, but it looks like it's sunk just a little bit on me, so I'm kind of terrified to move this thing, but I'm going to try. We're going to try to move it onto here. I'm going to try. So I wouldn't call this a complete success. I'm not sure that it was supposed to sink like that, but it's definitely not a failure like my last ones. Oh, I managed to get it off of there. That's successful. Okay, cool. And then the other thing I did was I went ahead and transferred my whipped cream to a pastry bag. So I'm just going to make little kind of, well, that's not the tip that I wanted on here, but we'll use it, I guess. Yeah, definitely not the one I wanted. Okay, I'm going to start over. I'm taking this out. Switching tips. Can I do that? I think I can. All right, give me just a second. Okay, I'm back. Now I have the tip that I had planned to use. So, I'm not the best at piping stuff, but I figured this would look prettier than just doing it with a spoon. But of course you can do it with a spoon too. And my roses are totally off center. I don't think I'm doing too bad of a job though. I was afraid to go too far out because what if I don't have enough? I mean, I guess I could always make some more, but oops, getting ready to come out the top here. I'm just gonna go back around and build this up a little bit. And I should have just about enough. Perfect. Well, I wouldn't call it perfect, but okay, so I sliced up some strawberries. I've got some blackberries that I've rinsed, and I've got some kiwi. So now we just got to find a way to put this in here and make it look pretty. So I think I'm just going to go and do strawberry, kiwi, strawberry, kiwi. What do you think? I think that looks too bad. Keep moving around in a circle here. I don't think that looks too bad. Now we just got to add some blackberries. So I think I'll just put those right in the center. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to call it a success. I mean, it could be better, but I think, especially it should be better considering this is my 4th time doing it, but at least it was successful this time. It's not completely fallen apart. So I'm not going to taste this because I'm going to give this to my mom for Mother's Day, but I can tell you I ate ate almost all the other 3, so I know it's good. If you love marshmallows, you love that kind of candy, you love Peeps, you love meringues, you're absolutely going to love this. So give it a try. Let me know if it is as hard for you as it was for me. And I thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.